before we begin, just thought I'd let you know I have now opened an Etsy store. Now, at this point in time, it only sells one thing, but that one thing is a Seeing Blue t-shirt, and you can get yours now if you order today, or anytime, or just don't order at all. I don't care all that much, just thought I'd put this here, link in the description if you are interested. Rick. Welcome to Greenest VR, one of the most realistic survival games that I have ever seen, let alone played. At least, the survival part is anyway, but we'll get to that. But before we do, I have a suggestion for you. Like, subscribe, you know the drill, blah blah blah. Let us begin.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm here. Hey! I made it!
Is everything alright?
Yeah! You can come up!
So our story begins with Jake, our player character, arriving in the Amazon with his wife Maya to meet with an indigenous tribe called the Yabahaka, and seemingly not for the first time. But before greetings, we need to set up a camp, because after all, you don't just come to the Amazon rainforest and not stay overnight. Hey, I found the camp.
Hey, I found the tent.
Is everything alright?
Spacious interior, luxurious cots, not all that fancy. Oh, and there's a dirt floor.
As long as it doesn't leak, I am fine with it.
We then cut to the next day where I pick up a paper and learn that the Yabahaka have a vaccine system where they give themselves small doses of dart frog poison to give themselves immunity. I just thought that was really cool to mention, because that's honestly genius. I'm then given a tutorial on how to build a fire, so one, chopping down of a tree, raiding of a bird nest, and smashing of stones later, we now have... Alright! Now sitting at my expertly crafted fire, Jake and Maya have a conversation which tells me, the player, more why they're here. See, there have been a bunch of people that have been coming down here and bothering the tribe, and what Jake and Maya want to do is kind of mediate the situation before the tribe tries to go to war with modern civilization, because I don't think I need to explain why that wouldn't end well for them. Hello?
Hello? Mia?
Hey, sleepyhead. Finally up?
Where are you?
I should reach the village shortly.
You went
Remember,
without me!
If you see a totem, do not go any farther. Those are clear warnings.
So with Maya gone, I learn how my watch and inventory stuff works before she instructs me to stay where I am until she calls for me.
They don't want to talk. They behave as if I am not here.
But they haven't driven you away. That's a good sign. You need to convince them that you're one of them.
Agreed. That seems to be the right course of action. I will sleep on the edge of the village and only eat what I can find.
Just careful.
Be careful, please.
I will. But if I am to live like them, we can't be talking so often.
You're right. They're suspicious of technology.
If anything goes wrong, I'll leave the village and get you on the radio. Otherwise, you can assume everything is just fine and there is no need to worry.
All right. Let's focus on the goal. I'll be focusing on indexing new plant species. I think I saw a few new specimens around here.
Day 32. I'm sorry.
Jake, please come in.
What?
Jake! I need you here. Jake, please. Please answer me.
Mia? What happened? Mia, speak to me. Mia!
What happened? What's happening?
fund this.
Mia! Mia?
Now stranded in the jungle, it was now up to me to find Maya and get us out of here. Or should I say, up to us. Ooh, what a lovely flower. I wonder what I can use it for. So that was my buddy Talisk, aka the guy who bullied me into getting this game once he found out that there was a multiplayer mode. And now that Talisk was on the team, we could finally begin Green Heck. And so we set out into the jungle, where I cobbled together a spear and hunted down a capybara for food. Okay, afterwards I decided to test my culinary endurance. Ooh!
Spider. I killed it. After it bit me. Oh, you have leeches on you.
After seeing that I can cure myself by A, eating some purple plants, or B, waiting it out, I decide to wait it out and have Talisk chop down a tree so that I could make myself a stone axe. We ventured further in where I found some strange stones, which just functioned as a way for me to save the game, and we would continue to venture further until my food poisoning gradually wore off and night fell. Now, without the resources needed to set up a camp, we continued forward until we stumbled across an abandoned Yabahaka village, which, wouldn't you know it, had all the resources necessary to set up a camp. So I started to get a fire going while Talisk followed the game's instructions to create some kind of concoction.
Oh, I found Jackpot! Jackpot!
Ooh, yes! So with the fire going, we were finally able to cook our food, and not a moment too soon either. See, the food poisoning I had earlier caused my hunger and water bars to go down much faster, so I desperately needed to eat at this point. Speaking of water, that is still something we needed, so while we waited for our food to cook, we kind of wandered around looking for a way to solve that.
Here, you want a drink?
Oh!
You drink out of the coconut.
Oh! No! Coconut! So Talisk would then use a bowl he found to purify water, effectively solving the water situation. From there, we just needed to wait for the food to cook. But right before I got around to actually eating it... Actually, this one is also done cooking. Here, you can have it. I fainted.
Yeah, I think he needs the food more, or water, or something.
Is there something you can do about that? To help me?
I can slap you away! I love that! I can just slap!
Thanks for the rude awakening.
I love that. That's an awesome awakening. What are you talking about?
And from there, we finally decided to sleep and skip the night. The following morning, I went out to gather resources, and while I was doing that, Talisk came with 2 coconuts. One of which I was able to turn into a jug, which I could then use to carry around water, the other of which Talisk split in half. With the 2 halves, we now had 2 coconut bowls, which we could use to gather water, place it by the fire, and boil it, thus purifying it. It was also at this point that I finally noticed that Talisk has been trying to make something. Did you make a stove?
No. Hey, gotta drink up.
No.
Drink it.
Is it soup?
Yeah.
Oh.
We should be tripping balls right now.
Are you sure you're using the right mushrooms?
It's part of the story.
Nice.
There it is.
Oh. I think I'm starting to trip.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I had found myself in some kind of vision, and in this vision there was a Yabahaka child that I was to follow. Following the child, I found myself at the scene of the strange stones I had found before, which had allowed me to save the game. The stones had now become a cave entrance, and when I had entered the cave, I would find the time that Mai had first encountered the tribe. about how she was able to gain their trust, about how they shared their greatest secret with her. But as Jake reached out to his wife, she disappeared right before his very eyes, thus bringing the vision to a close.
Jake?
What did you make me drink?
I drugged it. Hey!
Live without you.
So Jake is now relaying everything that has happened to Maya, and it is then that we are directed to a set of coordinates that has appeared on our map. And so we began our trek through the jungle. Along the way, I would occasionally stop to taste test stuff to see what was and wasn't edible.
A coconut fell out the sky. I wish I was joking, but I'm actually not.
Now with food poisoning again, I figured it would be a good idea to collect some more food for whenever we next set up a fire. So I hunt this capybara over here. That's a jaguar!
That is a mountain lion. You're gonna get us killed!
Or, I'm gonna get us a ton of meat and food.
Yeah, I'm dying right now. We need yellow bush.
Yellow bush?
Flowers. Yellow flowers.
Like, do you need to heal?
Like, yeah, we gotta hurry. I am so dying.
Here, I have something for you.
I'm dead.
So after waiting for Task to catch back up to me from where he respawned, we ventured forward a little bit and found yet another abandoned campsite, where I very quickly reset my spawn by sleeping in case of the very likely event that I died from my food poisoning before we could get the fire going. With my spawn now reset, I started emptying my inventory so that it wouldn't just disappear when I died, as I was now, as you can see, very low on health. Now, with my inventory emptied and my food poisoning successfully slept off, I decided to go out and look for a rock which I could then split into two and use those two rocks to create sparks for a fire. Ow.
You ran into my axe. I'd like to make it very clear that was not intentional.
So we got a fire going, we cooked our food, purified our water, and I slowly regained my health.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Once everything was finally cooked, we packed up, I grabbed some palm leaves to make a bed out of later, and we finally were able to make our way to the coordinates set on the map.
Mia?
Huh, we need a grappling hook.
Hold on.
But I can't get there.
That's tobacco.
There's a way up.
You gotta use an axe.
The ropes have been cut.
Or sharp knife.
Yeah, so that brings me to the reason why I just tell you what Maya says instead of just have her say it herself. It's because Talisk and I talk over her a lot of the time. Anyways, we needed to find some climbing gear in order to get where we are trying to go. So we redirect our attention to looking for places on the map that we have not been, and decide that we needed to head north since that's where we have not been.
Big rock! Catch!
Ow! Oh, hello.
Man, I wish we could just find a vehicle.
So along the way, we stumbled upon a wrecked vehicle left behind by somebody who was here before us. Strewn about the place were all kinds of resources, mostly canned food. Along with the canned food, I found this little water bottle, which I kept in my backpack for safekeeping, because that definitely won't backfire. And Talisk found himself a jug of gasoline, which will probably be handy somewhere down the line. We then tell Maya about the Jeep, and then take note of the fact that there appears to be an additional listening device in our walkie-talkie. That's cause for concern. And then, continuing north, we found more traces of the people that probably left the Jeep behind. Oh! I found planks.
Huh, we should probably follow him.
After following the path, we found this elevator shaft, and upon actually making our way to it, we found that the gasoline Talisk had found was in fact quite handy. Getting the elevator started up, we descended into what we now know to be an illegal gold mine. Upon investigation of this gold mine, we found the climbing gear we needed.
Drago!
Yeah!
Yeah, I knew coming here would be a good idea. The pot! Drago! We can cook!
We can cook! With our new goodies, we decided to investigate the gold mine a little more. And what we found is that many of the members were infected with some kind of new disease that nobody had ever seen before. They tried their best to treat it, but ultimately they took all who were infected, killed them, and burnt the bodies. And by this point, night was beginning to fall again, so we set up some beds and went to sleep. After the nap, we decided to head back to where we needed the climbing gear in the first place. However, unfortunately, and I wish I had gotten this on video, Talisk clipped through the elevator and fell to his death. So while I'm waiting for him to get back at the top of the elevator, I found 2 pieces of obsidian, which is really good because it would allow us to upgrade our spears to obsidian-tipped spears, which I don't think I need to explain why that's better than the spears we had already. Shortly after this, Talisk finally caught back up to me, and now all I needed to do was to find a stick to make an obsidian spear with. Surely that can be accomplished without incident.
Your rope now.
I have more rope. I have more rope. That's a jaguar!
That's a menace!
Ah!
We killed it! Band-Aid now! Okay, at least my stuff survived.
Bandage, bandage, bandage. Bandage, no, my bandage!
A little late for that.
So yeah, there are jaguars in this game. Now, they do spawn rarely at the difficulty level that we picked for this game, but they do spawn sometimes, and as you can see, they can be a massive problem when they do decide to spawn. So Talisk and I respawned, went to pick up whatever stuff we were able to drop, which is none of the stuff we had in our backpacks, but luckily I did not keep my obsidian knife in my backpack, so I was able to get around to actually crafting that obsidian spear after all. So with that, we were finally able to start making our way back to where we were supposed to go, and doing our best to replenish our lost resources along the way. Coconut!
Coconut! Coconut!
Oh wait, that.
Got it.
As we were approaching our desired destination, Talisk had to leave to take his dog on a walk, so while he was doing that, I set up a bit of a camp to start cooking the meat we had prepared. That is until it started to flip and rain and put out my ding-dang fire! So with this rain, I decided to build a shelter to kind of pass the time while I still waited for Talisk to get back. And also because shelters allow you to save the game. Eventually I did meet back up with Talisk and we were able to use the climbing gear to finally progress through the game. At the top of the hill there was this like tribal thingy where we were tasked with making more of the hallucination soup. I took advantage of the fire that we were supposed to use to cook the pot and used it to also cook our meat. So anyways, eventually we got finished making the hallucination soup, and so we partake and began another vision. It was another case of follow the child. Now this time he led me through a cave which had this repeating pattern all along the walls. Now what this pattern meant, I have no idea. Past the cave, I was led to a ditch, in which I was expected to jump and fall. So jump and fall into the ditch I did. It was then that the vision rearranged itself to look like a mix of jungle and the modern world. Not only that, but the office where Jake wrote the very book that caused problems for the Yabahaka to begin with. Now, this entire time, I, as a player, was taunted with this secret that was handed to Maya, you know, for lore reasons. As the vision turned to when he mass-produced his book, there it was again. The secret handed to Maya, continuing to taunt me. And it was then that the vision turned to taunting not me, the player, but Jake, the player character, as it is revealed that Maya has cancer. Not only that, but she kept this from Jake. Jake didn't know this until this vision. And it was here that the vision ended. Alright, anyway, let's talk to Mia now. Why don't we? Click.
Sure. I drank another dose of ayahuasca and... Why didn't you tell me you were sick?
Jake.
Is that why we were here? Yabawaka have a remedy and we were going to get it for you?
If only it was that simple. I would have told you already.
Then why don't you just do it?
And all I want is for you to be safe.
Whatever it is, Mia, please tell me.
Please, Jake, just keep going. If you can't make it, neither can I. Let's just not bring this up again until you're safe, okay?
I don't understand any of it, but I know I have to find you.
Let's just focus on that, please.
So after Jake's confrontation with Maya, Talisk and I continued forward, making our way to the cave from the hallucination and the ditch from the hallucination.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah, this time we were not meant to fall into the ditch. So upon Talisk catching back up to me, we continued forward until we had our first encounter with a black caiman.
Drago, watch out. There's a caiman to your right. There's a caiman over there.
I like it when
Look.
Oh. Do we dare?
I dare. Buddy, are you mad?
What? He's angry! Rick.
I'm kind of out of weapons.
Ha-ha!
Yeah!
After our victory against the Cayman, we found a camp that has been inhabited for a very long time, and apparently inhabited by poachers. Going past the camp, we ventured further into the jungle until we found another ridge where we needed the climbing gear, and upon me climbing up, Talisk unfortunately fell to his death, and respawned all the way back where we had taken the second Yabahaka potion. Now, you'll see here that the edges of my vision are kind of going dark, and so it is here that I will explain that there is a sanity meter to keep up with in this game. Now, as you play the game, your sanity will slowly go down, and one of the ways that you keep it up is by sitting by the fire. And let me tell you, the voices you hear when you start losing sanity are not very nice. Once Talisk finally caught up to me, we dined on the Cayman meat and found that it actually restores the sanity quite well. We then slept to set our spawn and then decided to see who among us was the better fighter. Let the duel begin. That's not an obsidian.
Yes?
I didn't even get to hit you. I must tell you that I am the least sore loser to ever lose.
Help! I had just put my stuff back in my backpack. Why would you do that?
Oh, you were putting your stuff... Oh.
Why would you do that?
Vengeance?
'Cause you lost fair and square.
Continuing further, we stumbled across an airbase. Talisk managed to fix up the radio tower to see if we could contact Talpent. Just as he was about to get around to the contact part, his game broke. Waiting for him to get back, I decided to listen to this recorder to see who exactly this airbase might belong to.
Alvarez, report number 8. I've spotted a fire northwest from the Delta camp. So far I've determined that there are around 6 people on the island. At least one is a child. So I'm guessing these are refugees from the city. I watched them all day. It looks like they're unaware of our presence. For now, the group doesn't pose any threat to the mission. I suppose they feel safe on the island, and are likely to stay there. I don't think they have any useful information, so there's no need for contact, but I'll keep an eye on them. End of report.
With impeccable timing of when to get online, Talisk and I contacted the guy through the radio.
This is Jake Higgins. I'm on a makeshift airstrip in the middle of the
What are they
jungle.
saying? Just tell me.
I'm not sure where exactly.
Copy. That Jake Higgins? Again? Okay. I know where you are.
Apparently this is not the first time our characters had to contact this guy. The conversation that Jake has with this guy basically goes, he's asking where Jake is, how many people are with him. He says that Maya is with the Yabahaka, and the radio guy just keeps telling Jake to stay put and that, quote, help is on the way. Neither me, Jake, nor Talisk trusted that help was actually on the way for a second, so we kinda took off after that. We found this sort of gate, and using a key that we had found at the airstrip, I unlocked it, we went through, and venturing further from the gate, we ran into the Yabahaka. It's like 5 updates behind. It is here that I feel it worth noting that at some point, I don't care to look for when, Maya mentions how there are different factions within the Yabahaka. Some of those factions want to just live their lives in peace, they don't want to have to deal with the modern world, but they don't want to go to war with them. And then there's factions that want to go to war with them, and then there's factions that are like, hey, we could all be friends here. We encountered the tribe that wants to go to war. So venturing further, Talisk and I found this neat little drop-off area. Shoot, 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 shoot!
Drago!
We went through the cave, I found a saving rock, I saved the game, and we decided to end the session there. These are some long spears, though.
Yeah, pretty cool series. Anyways. Hop! Dunk.
At the start of our next session, we continued down the river. Taste test!
Why do you even taste testing things?
We did some fishing, we cooked our stuff, and then we found a thing that required more advanced climbing gear than what we had. Continuing further, we found a closed-up vision cave. And further still, we came to a fork in the river where we thought long and hard about which direction to go.
I don't like the way left is looking at me. Let's go right.
The path led us to a camp where there were a few mishaps.
2 audio recorders.
Let's give them a listen. Oh!
I'm out. Got it.
Call me the Cayman Killer. From the audio recordings, we figured out 2 important things. Number 1, these were the people that made the airstrip. Number 2, they evidently knew, or at least were acquainted with, Jake and Maya. As to how, I am not sure. Jake was less than helpful in the sense that he had no audible response to the audio recordings. Anyways, we pillage this place for all it's worth and head down the left path which had previously given us the stink eye, where we came upon another ceremonial Yabahaka site and a black caiman which snuck up on Talisk. Alright, boss battle. Official boss battle! After killing the caiman and waiting for Talisk to make his way back, we made some more hallucinations do and began the next vision. This vision told tale of a sickness, a virus, that has been making its way through the South American continent. A virus that has infected Mia, and a virus that was brought about by the actions of our protagonist, Jake. And it is here that we finally found out what secret the Yabahaka had given to Maya. And I crap you not, it is the cure to freaking cancer! And Jake has the bright idea to have this mass produced, and, you know, rightfully so. This is something that everybody should have access to. But unbeknownst to him, this cure was the carrier to the very virus that has now plagued the entirety of South America. Only South America, because it was successfully contained to that area. It is also revealed here that Jake has had some gaps in his memory, likely from the concussion that he suffered at the start of the game. So, finding out Maya was sick or had cancer was not actually new information, he just forgot, and these visions are helping him recover those lost memories. We awoke from the vision inside of the very cave that we could not access previously, and inside of this cave was the advanced climbing gear we needed in order to progress. So we navigated our way back to where we needed the advanced climbing gear.
I can do it! I did it!
You did it!
I did it! Let's climb!
Alright, ladies first. And so further we explored until we found our way to the tutorial area. Only it has apparently been sitting here for a long time. A very long time. It appears that Jake has been in this jungle for a lot longer than we've been led to believe. We then took off to continue exploring, having found nothing of real use to us. Though it wouldn't be long until we found yet another abandoned Yabahaka village and drank ourselves another bowl of hallucination soup. It is here that Jake remembers how angry Maya was upon finding out that she had a terminal virus after having just escaped the clutches of cancer. And it is here that it is explained why we haven't seen many Yabahaka, as they themselves have also all been claimed to the virus which Jake had helped create and spread. It is then explained that Jake himself was a part of the group which had set up all of their tents and created the airstrip, for they were looking for the Yabahaka to see if they had anything they could do about this virus, only to find that they had all but died out due to it. And finally, it is revealed just what state the real Maya has been in this entire time. For the Maya that we have been talking to and listening to on Jake's walkie-talkie has been nothing more than an illusion, a hallucination, created by his desperation to save her life. And finally, he is confronted with all of the lives that have ended at the hands of his virus. And upon deciding that he wants to run from this instead of face it, we are given this. That was...
Ah!
You can!
You can't run away from this.
What?
What the hell?
That was it?!
That was the game?
What? Oh. So yeah, the reason we're here is because Jake left the group in a fit of rage when they decided to abandon all hope upon finding the Yabahaka dead. And then he got a concussion, which is why he thought the Yabahaka attacked him and why he thought he was still on one of his trips with Maya. So yeah, that's the game. All in all, I quite enjoyed this game. While granted, I did not expect it to dive into psychological horror territory, I found it quite fun. I mean, I also had my friend here to keep me sane with all of our goofing around, so... yeah, I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. And if you enjoyed this video, I suggest you like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I shall see you in the next video.